Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blue Sunday. I am your host, Bangkok Joe, coming to you not from Bangkok today. I'm coming to you from the sunny seaside resort of Jomtien, which is about 150 odd kilometres away. That was Tony in the background from Bangkok. And joining me as usual in the Melbourne studio is Big Vincenz. How are you today, Vince?
Big beans to you, actually, Joe.
Yeah, well, to our audience, you Big Vincenz. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. It's been a rough week, but I won't get into that now. But it's been a very rough week.
That's okay. And also joining us is Seba. How are you, Seba?
Not too bad, Joe. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. You can see Tony in the background back there, sitting on the couch in the background.
That's it.
Anyway, he's a good Englishman.
Joe, I see you building up your cheer squad. You had Paz. He's the leader of your cheer squad. Now you've got a couple of other members there right behind you.
Paz is the president, remember?
Oh, right,
Never
okay.
forget,
right.
There he is. Fire up. Let's go through a bit of admin and then we'll get on with the show. We've got someone waiting for us in the background. As usual, we are proudly sponsored by the Sporting Globe, the whole channel, the Jumper Punch channel, Sporting Globe at Northland. Get yourself down there, have a Palmer and a pot. Can't do any worse than that on a Saturday night. Don't forget BYO Machete. Also, we are proudly sponsored by my company, Retired Worker for You Tours. We do everything Thailand and surrounding countries. Also, remember, we are a social media show, so don't forget you can find us on Facebook at Blue Sunday. And as you all know, all 46 of you at the moment, you are watching us on YouTube at the Jumper Punch. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Makes the channel stronger, bigger, and better for you. Don't forget, we are here for you, not for us. If it was just for us, I could ring Seba and Vince privately. All right, guys. As usual, we have our special guest waiting in the wings. He's none other than Mr. David Rees-Jones. How are you tonight, David?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I've had a weekend of golf. I golfed yesterday and golfed today, and so can't
Very nice
life at the moment.
Hard for some, isn't it?
It's got to be tough. Do you have any Thailand golf tours over there?
I could arrange one for you, David. No problem. Yeah. Let me talk to you about it off there. There's a lot of boys come where I am at the moment. Yeah. A lot of boys come up here up to Pattaya, and golf is one of the many things that they do.
I got to tell you, Reese,
you're not interested in drinking, so hey.
I've got to tell you, Reese, as someone who follows women's golf very closely, Thailand has some of the world's best female golfers by a long stretch.
So
in fact, one of them is the number one golfer in the world at the moment, Gino Titikun, and brilliant golfer. And so where did you end up playing your golf this weekend?
I was at Goonawara. I've joined up there yesterday and out at Werribee today in a social day, so social club.
Beautiful.
Which is pretty good.
Anyway.
Won the golf yesterday too with my partner out there. So
hey, before we go on, guys,
for points between us, which is pretty good for those who know a bit about golf.
I've got no idea about golf. I've got no interest. Do you play golf, Deba?
No, fuck no. Not a chance. Not a chance.
If we ever do a golf show, it'll be me and Reese.
I respect the art. I respect the art of it, but you wouldn't catch me dead playing golf, to be honest.
What's this, Seba?
At Goon Hill.
Seba plays golf at Goon Hill.
I don't know. Bo's been on the beers tonight. He's been sending me. He's about halfway through the slab. So
good on you, Bo. Hey, don't forget, everyone that's in the chat, all our regulars. I can see Lana, Paz, my number one supporter, Rocco Mora, Jai, Sandra McDonald, Moondogs, Peter V. Who else? Nick. So, and Tony Malia, good evening to you all and welcome. Okay, guys, so Carlton's not involved, but we're still in the news. I just had a look at Facebook and I had to put this up. apparently every decision that we make is about making our football club as good as it possibly can be. And to quote one of our panelists, David Rees-Jones, I thought that's what was your job was always. So
Jesus Christ.
what do you think about that, David?
Oh, bloody obvious, isn't it? But no, I mean, Graham Wright's come out and said it, and well,
so it must be true.
Pretty well. It's just it's an obvious statement, and I think every club would be saying exactly the same thing. I mean, what's he saying? I think he might be alluding to some mistakes that may have been made in the past. And
I'm
they
sure
won't,
everyone has their own
and that they won't be happening under his watch.
No.
You'd hope not.
Paz, what do you think about that comment? Were you shocked? Surprised? Paz has got no. Sorry, Paz. Seba. Sorry.
What's amazing? What's amazing?
How many
Joe?
beers have you had, Joe? How many beers have you had today? Shit.
No beer, just rum. Actually,
Yeah.
Thai rum. No beer.
I mean,
Paz,
you know what? I was thinking to myself today. I was sitting in bed today. Had a birthday last night. I woke up this morning just randomly for like the first 2 hours of the morning. I was just thinking about Carlton, and fuck, I'm sick of Carlton. I'm so over it. I can't be bothered with. And again, I'm happy for Graham White. He's doing all this, but I can't be bothered. I just want to see it on the field now. I don't give a shit. There's no excuses. I'm just so over it all already. If all these players, I'm just over them all. I'm just sick of it now, to be honest.
You weren't celebrating the contract renewal of Jesse Motlop today? Doing handstands over that one?
I was on the emergency meeting on Thursday.
There we go.
Mars and the boys. I'm actually happy they've extended his contract. I'm actually really happy they've extended it. So.
Okay.
I was hoping that they'd trade him and then we'd get a draft pick and we might get a real forward. So, look, let's talk about a bit of the news that's happening. I know Carlton aren't involved in the football, but I just stuck that one up. Excuse me. And I haven't been drinking, Paz, so don't worry. Jesse Motlop, as David says, if it's on the media, probably pretty right. What do you think, David? 2 years? Or would you have given him 1+1?
No. I think a couple of years. Look, he's only a kid, and I've been a little bit critical of his performances this year, and I think there are a couple of occasions where he could have gone back and got some confidence in the twos, in running around in the reserves. They could have played him in the midfield there, run around, get some kicks, enjoy your footy again, and then come back in because he wasn't giving us much for a while. His numbers were very low. They were in the below average category in nearly every statistic. So, he probably should have had a rest and been dropped at some stages this year, but he played every game. So they showed faith in him, and they're showing a bit more faith in him now. But you can see it. You can see it, but he's got to get a lot better at just the little things you need to do to be a good small forward. And, hopefully we can get someone in there to help him. But, you look at it and I think at the end of the year, our best small forward for this year has been Frankie Evans. So he's leapfrogged him. So anyway, we'll wait and see, and hopefully he keeps improving. As I said, he is. What's he, only 21, isn't he? Still.
Yeah, I was going to say he's only 21.
But even to combat that, we've been saying all year, like he's been played out of position all year. So I don't think we can really judge his season as a small forward. You know what I mean? Because he's been thrown around everywhere. Seeing him a half back and seeing him here and there. Just play the kid as a small forward. Play him where you drafted him. Like, what was it? 2023, he kicked, what was it, like 30 goals or somewhere close to that? Just play him there. Just persist. This is what pisses me off about Michael Voss, but it is what it is. That's what we got given this year, so I'm happy, and I just want to see him play as a small forward next year, but all year. No chopping and changing, no midfield bullshit, small forward. That's it. But
he hasn't been able to do it yet. So, I mean, those where he's gone into the midfield, he's actually done a couple of nice things in there, and it's allowed him to get a little bit of confidence too, because can dry up in that small forward role. It can be a bit hard, especially if the team's not travelling too well to get many possessions down there. So I don't begrudge him, whacking him in the midfield.
I do agree with you, but and then again, George in the thing, he was fucking useless as a small forward. That's completely wrong. When he was played predominantly as a small forward in 2023 and 2022, he was kicking goals. Was he not?
Yeah, but he wasn't doing that this year.
Yeah, but he wasn't played predominantly as a small forward all year.
Well, he was early. He never played in the middle early in the year.
Seeing him at half back, he was playing in the midfield during the early parts of the year.
Not early. Not nearly as much as he was.
I don't know. I understand that. I understand the pushback on him as a footballer, but I don't get the immense amount of hate that he gets for him having to be played out of position all year, and then people called him fucking trash, this and that. I don't agree with it personally.
No, I don't agree with that either.
And I'm happy they've signed him up for 2 years, and I want him to come out next year and shut everyone up. That's what I want him to do, because I know he can do it.
Well, that's what he should do. Everyone up. That's what. Well, that's his job.
Yeah.
His job is to get his figures up. Above average. In areas, not below average.
Yeah.
And I think what we've had and what I've spoken about a lot this year is selection integrity, and he's been one of the ones we've spoken about who hasn't been in good form and hasn't been dropped, and players, it took till 6-7 rounds to go to start bringing all these kids into the team and playing them, and instead of rewarding him earlier on in the season, rather than just sticking with the tried and true week in week. Yeah,
I do agree with you on that too. With he should have been dropped at certain parts of the year, and I'm not giving him a pass for this year. He wasn't good. But then again, there's one thing that's a big thing for me with him especially, and a big thing for all of our players. What have we always wanted from our players, which we haven't got for God knows how long? Is the heart and body and being able to run out a whole season. He's fit. He's been fit all year. That's something half our players can't say. So I think if he is played where he's supposed to be played, I think he can do the job. But it is what it is. I mean, I guess time will tell. So that's just my opinion on it. It's not a popular one, but I stand by it.
You knew he was going to have a terrible year, because at the start of the season he was training the house down. So whenever they use that sentence, it's just like a death knell. Vince, what are your thoughts on the contract extension if it goes ahead?
Well, it is going ahead, but I'm not fussed either way. I mean, if the news came that Port Adelaide signed him up, or that he's going to leave, it wouldn't have made me lose any sleep. But at the same time, if we've decided that he's worthy of a 2-year extension, based on what, I'm not sure. But I mean, obviously they think that at 21 there's some natural improvement in him. So, obviously the club's got confidence that he's on the right track. But geez, you'd want to get some more output out of him, that's for sure.
Okay, so while we're on the subject, there's been a couple of people who want to come to Carlton. Yeah. Liam Reedy, who I've never heard of, and Campbell Chesser. So all I know about these two is one plays for Fremantle, one plays for West Coast. I know Campbell Chesser was draft pick number 14 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about Liam Reedy other than he's a ruckman. Is that right?
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to break into the Freo team.
What's Campbell Chesser? Is he a midfield forward?
Like a midfield winger type player. He's just been struck down by injury, but he's pretty quick. I've seen a few bits and pieces of him. He looks pretty quick. He's got a decent kick on him. I mean, I guess it's just more of being able to get his body right. I mean, being a former near top 10 draft pick. So there's obviously something to work with there. It's just getting his body right. And Liam Reedy, I got no clue about, but yeah.
Reedy's one who is being held out by Darcy and the bloke
Jackson.
Jackson, yes, Jackson. So he's probably hitting, and we lose a ruckman, we try and get one back in. So, and if if this kid's got some good ability, he's best looking at other options, because he's not going to get much of a run at Freo over the next few years, because I couldn't see him, leapfrogging Darcy and
just reading about him here. He's 25 years old. He's from Frankston. He was draft pick number 13 in the 2023 rookie draft. He's 204 centimetres, and he's played a total of 3 games in 3 years. But his highlights was that he played in the WAFL. He's a WAFL Premiership player in 2024. So,
I mean, in my opinion, if you can get him ready and get him firing, I mean, who knows? Hopefully that they can do a job for us. And to be honest, that's all you can ask for.
And Campbell Chesser, he's 22 years old, from the Sandringham Dragons. He was drafted number 14 in the 2021 draft. He's 186 or 6'1", 85 kilos, and in 3 years has played a total of 36 games and kicked 7 goals. So, and he's listed as a midfielder from West Coast. So I know people are going to say, if he can't get a game at West Coast, well, how's he going to get a game at Carlton? But I don't know.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think the one thing that was brought up there, if he's had some issues with his body, I think we've had enough blokes who've had issues with their body over the years, haven't we? Well, why don't we start getting blokes who don't have issues with their body and play 20 games every year, sort of thing. I mean, they're the blokes we need to get in there, rather than blokes who've got some problems. So I hope our medical people can go over, if they are looking at this kid, go over him with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that he's going to be able to stand up and to the rigours of AFL footy, because if he can't, we've seen what, our recruits over the last 4 or 5 years, and, that they haven't been able to get out in the field often enough and to impact.
Yeah. We did have some news out of the week. They're saying that Carlton would entertain a trade for Jackson Binns. Any thoughts, anybody? David, do you know much about Jackson Binns, or are you a Jackson Binns fan?
I don't know. And unless Stephen Silvani recruited him, he might get him down St Kilda and we'll get something out of him there. But I don't know.
And
it's about the only way we'll get something out of him, I think.
To be honest, who cares about him? He's just he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it, and he showed that.
And
not a two-way player.
Yeah, and his foot disposal isn't up to scratch. So move him on.
But is he contracted? Is he contracted for next season or not?
I think he's got one more year.
He could have
one more year.
I think he might have one more.
Yeah.
So whether we like it or not, if no one else wants him, we're going to have to keep playing.
Well, you keep him. Yeah, it's the same as Elijah Hollands. I mean, he's been given an opportunity to go and look elsewhere, and if no one wants him, then we're stuck with him. But they'll play a lot of VFL footy, and hopefully
be list cloggers like we've got enough of.
Well, I mean, you need to have blokes, running around the twos who can put a bit of pressure on. So. The one thing about Jackson Binns, he picks, he gets a lot of the footy. He does get a lot of the footy, and even when he's, when he's come up and played AFL, he's been able to get a bit of the footy, but just butchers it. So
I can honestly say I can't remember him. He's one of those guys. He's not rememberable, is he?
In my opinion, he's the Paddy Dow 2.0, the VFL king. 2.0.
Oh, we don't need any more of them. Hey, can I just change the subject for a sec? Since we've got David here who's played at a club. Zach Merritt, captain of the Essendon Football Club. Mm-hmm. He's come out and, apparently he said, I want out. Can he go back to the club, David?
Oh, he can go back to the club, but he won't be captain.
Well,
he will not be captain.
Let's say you're at Essendon and you're one of the players and he did that. What would be your attitude towards him?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is being captain, being a leader of the club. You just, I mean, you have a look at what the West Coast, captain did this year, and he's had a terrible year, and just if your leaders are leaving, you're in big trouble. You're in real big trouble. I mean, it'd be like Paddy Cripps, requesting to leave. We'd be devastated. The whole joint would fall apart, to be honest. It's hanging by a thread at the moment, but that would be the straw that broke the camel's back, because and that's why you need your leaders to really be the ones who do stick fat through thick and thin, and some of these people now, I mean, they start thinking about their own interests rather than the club interests, and that's what happens. I mean, obviously he's looking at it thinking, I'm not going to finish my career as a premiership player if I'm staying at Essendon, and he's thinking about himself.
Does that argument hold true when he says, I don't see success? Is that a good enough reason to want to leave? I mean, I don't know. When I played football, I played because they were all my mates, and I liked playing with them, and I enjoyed being there. And we won and we lost. I mean, obviously, professional sport's a bit different. Is he going to be looked at differently if he's a premiership player at St Kilda as opposed to the captain who played his whole career at Essendon?
He's not going to be a premiership player at St Kilda.
I'm just saying, just an argument.
What do we, David? When you played the game, what do you play for? The ultimate prize is winning a flag.
Yeah, you do. I don't. You go in with a group at the start of every year, and if you are a little bit limited, there's a lot of wishful thinking and so forth.
Yeah.
But and I've been on both sides. I've been, with good teams and with teams who weren't going to win premierships. But you never give up. I mean, you never just give up and
look, you can call it out. Someone will call it out. I don't really care. To be honest, I think even if Cripps said that he wants to leave and he wants to go to a club and contend for a flag next year, I mean, it is what it is. You want to win a flag, you want to win a flag. I wouldn't begrudge. I mean, yes, you have some resentment towards a player, but in my opinion, I wouldn't begrudge him because he wants to go and win a flag. I mean,
you don't begrudge him, but I can tell you that the most revered players are the players who are one club players, and
I do understand that.
And whether it's and you go through the years, you go through history, and you'll find the one club players who've been great players for their clubs who haven't won premierships, but they have stuck, and that's part of the culture of the place.
I do understand.
And that's where, that's where the culture is obviously bloody terrible down at Essendon at the moment, and they've got players left, right, and centre. They all want to get out of there at the moment. So, Brad Scott, I don't know. You'd have to be looking.
I do. Go, Vince.
Vince is very quiet today.
No, I'm more than happy to listen to what Seb was about to say. Go on, Seb.
No, sorry, and look, I do understand what you're saying with the one club player, but I don't know. I've got immense respect for a player that wants to win and wants to be a winner, because there's not a lot of those players around that want to be winners. They're all money hungry, and we've seen it firsthand with two players that have left. You know what I mean? And I do hold, in my opinion, those players who want to be winners more than anything in a higher regard. But I do understand what you're saying with being a one club player. I do understand that.
But that seems to be the trend these days. I just put up a comment from Sandra. All these players, Charlie Curnow, they want these long-term contracts, and then when things don't look like they're going their way, they want out. I mean, I don't know whether
that's the great thing about the club putting Charlie Curnow on a long-term contract and Harry Mackay and Jacob Wiedering and because it's bloody hard. They can't get out of it. They can't just walk. So Carlton's done the right thing by securing them for a long time.
that's
So which works in our favour. So I mean, a lot of these players who are walking are either out of contract or got a year or so to go, and if they only have 1 year to go, they're going to go the end of the next year. So why hang on to them and try and get what you can out of them? But the players who you have got contracted long term, mate, the clubs have to throw the kitchen sink at you to get them, because they're not going anywhere else otherwise. So, you just forget about it until a club comes and says, we're going to give you X, Y, Z for and a couple of draft picks or whatever. And this is, and it's got to win. I mean, you got to have a major win out of it. I mean, if it's a Charlie Curnow going to Sydney or Gold Coast or whatever, we have to win out of it big time. Not just win. Yeah. You have to win big time, because they're taking money at one of the best players out of the club, and they're going to pay for it in a big way.
Yeah.
And the good thing is,
Vince, I've got a question to ask you, Vince. What do you think about these players who are being spoken to while they're still under contract?
Well, yeah, I don't think it's a good look, but it happens. You just have to accept it. I mean, Sam Mitchell's spoken to not one, but two other club captains this year. I mean, if anyone was to approach his captain or any of his top players, he wouldn't be able to complain, would he? But that's just the environment we're in now. I mean, everyone's talking to everyone, and I think it's the managers of these players that often are the ones stoking things up and spreading rumours about which club's interested in their player and how much they're offering them and all this sort of thing. I mean, the media just feeds on it. And look, I think it's in a way it's sad that a club captain like Zach Merritt, who's been let's be honest, he's been a fantastic player for Essendon for a long time, is now saying, look, I've lost hope, because that's the message he's projecting. I've lost hope in the club. I've lost faith in the coach's plan, and I don't see myself being here, even if they do get close to making finals or even winning a final. I think it's all going to be too late for me, and maybe I'm better off to look for greener pastures while I got a chance to get a premiership medal around my neck. Now, Reece is spot on. He's thinking about himself, but when a player gets to 29 and 30, that's what he starts thinking about. So it's hardly surprising when you look at the direction that Essendon's been going in. But,
I'll tell you what,
I don't know.
He'd be much more respected if he, if he stayed at Essendon and dragged them along and improved them, to get to finals or whatever
of course.
The case is. That's what real leaders do. Real leaders don't leave their post.
But we haven't got that type of person in today's day and age, unfortunately. I'll put it this way, they're very rare. And, maybe Cripps is one of those ones that's going to be a rare example, because he's hung around at Carlton, but he's played in a few finals.
I think
he's tasted a bit of success.
I've got a question
through this year, but most skippers of most clubs have stuck pretty fat with their clubs.
Yeah. I've got a question for you guys. In your guys' opinion, and be honest with it, in my opinion, Zach Merritt, I reckon he's a very overrated footballer. I don't reckon he's that great of a footballer. I don't think he's that good. Personally, I've never thought he's that good. I may cop some flack for it, but it is what it is. I never thought he's that good. But I don't know. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on it. I mean, I guess
I think he's going to win Essendon's best and fairest by a fair margin this year.
But who else is there?
Yeah. Well,
so does that mean Charlie goes? What do we think?
No, I don't think any club has got the goods to be able to get him. I'm
starting to think that too.
You've actually got to go to players, your own players. And we're not talking about average players. We're talking about you're going to go to a couple of pretty good senior players and say, hey, listen, if we can do this deal, you're out of here. Now, that in itself creates
destabilizing.
Exactly. They're all got mates in there. and the word gets around pretty quick through footy clubs, and it only takes a real little bit of negativity around the place to really bring a club to its knees very quickly. So and that's like a skipper, if your footy club going to wanting out sort of thing. I mean, that's exactly soul destroying for football clubs. So
if he does go to Gold Coast, we have seen Damien Hardwick pry a top 3 full forward out of a team before in Tom Lynch.
Yeah, he got that Lynch from Gold Coast, didn't he?
But he was able to move as a free agent.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
He wasn't contracted, able to move.
I think it'd almost have to be a 3-team trade, would it not be at this point? If it's not Gold Coast, if it's not them.
Well, whatever way it happens, whatever way it happens, we're going to get a huge win out of it. So
if what I've heard from whoever is true, then I don't want him at the club anymore. To be honest, I couldn't give a shit about him.
What was that said? If you've heard what?
If I've heard from what I've heard through me and Mars, we've spoken, what he's heard and what he's told me. If that's true, that like there's just the way he is around the club, I don't want him at the club. You don't want players.
Who, Charlie?
Around there. Yeah, you don't want players. He's a brat.
Lazy, or is he just
a brat? He's a brat, entitled. And look at the way the ones that are in the leadership group have spoken about, and you know who they're pointing out when they're saying these things about like players, about being no more bullshit, all this stuff. It's just, you can just tell. And to be honest, I'm happy if he goes. I just can't be bothered with him anymore. He's another Mr. Hollywood. So see you later. I'm harsh because I'm over it. Like that's just the point I'm at now.
Seb, you need to go and have a hit of golf, I think. Get that anger out of your system, because it's not helpful at all. Because
get a few balls out of the bunker.
Put it this way, and I mean, most Carlton supporters will be sitting there thinking, if Charlie can go and get his knee cleaned or whatever he needs there, and get through a pre-season, hit next year running, and I mean, I want to see Charlie playing at his best football for the Carlton Football Club next year, because if he's doing that, then we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I honestly feel that if our best players are up and going, we're going to be very, very hard to beat. But Charlie didn't have a great year this year. He was down on his performance, and it's we need him at his best. We need him at his best, and we can be right up there.
You know what I think the taxing thing is? I mean, as supporters, I don't know if anyone else in the chat feels the same way I feel. It's the season's ended, but we're still going to be the main talking point over the whole off season. It's not going to stop. Carlton is going to be in everyone's mouth the whole off season, so you're not going to stop hearing about it, which is it's just aggravating me. Like
that happens every year. That's part of being Carlton.
Even more this year. It's even more this year. I mean, I guess coming off a shit year as well doesn't help, but yeah, I mean, it is.
But once all the trades are done, all the deals are done, then you know where you sit. So once it's all done, and hopefully we do pick up some good players along the way, because we need, we really need some speed into our team anyway, and some run off half back and a few other things. We're still need small forward as well. Bit of speed through the midfield, as I said. So there's things that we need to to help our team, and probably even another backman. I mean, you see what Josh Battle and who's the bloke from Barras. I mean, bringing them in, it's like what Melbourne did with May and Lever a few years ago, and you bring those real good defenders into your team, and it just releases other players and allows them to really dominate. So that's been a great move, and we need to get another big strong backman into our team, because we're lacking a little bit there as well.
So, guys, Vince sent me something that I'm going to put up now. Vince, you're muted. Vince, you've muted your microphone.
You did it, Joe.
Your microphone, Vince. Well,
You
what were you going
ended
to
up
say?
doing that.
Sorry?
You ended up putting it together, mate. I thought you were going to tell me you couldn't do it.
No, I said that there was way too much. I had to. It looks a bit messy on the screen. So
I see. I thought you weren't going to do it at all.
No. So for the last 25 years, Brisbane, Geelong, Hawthorn have won four premierships. Richmond 3, Collingwood, Sydney, West Coast 2, Melbourne, Bulldogs, Port and Essendon 1, and Adelaide, Carlton, Freo, Gold Coast, GWS, North and St Kilda haven't won any. Now, I was saying to Vince, to me, this shows me that, A, the draft doesn't work, because if you have a look at the players that Geelong bring in, because these clubs try and trade, like they bring in Jeremy Cameron, Dangerfield, who's the other bloke? Bailey Smith. I mean, come on, they leave their clubs. But is there any chance of it? The draft is supposed to make the competition even, but does it really?
But Joe, you look at these teams. You look at the Brisbane. You look at the Geelong. You look at the Hawthorn and the Richmond. They're all dynasties, and they do have. And a lot of those players, especially the Richmond, it's a lot of it is their own talent. A lot of the Geelong one was some of their own talent, as well as the Hawthorn. Yes, they brought a few in, but I mean, they're all fucking dynasties.
Yeah, but we were too.
Seba, one of the reasons I sent that to Joe to put up on screen tonight is because 4 out of the top 5 teams on that list who have won the most premierships, they're the 4 teams that are going to be battling it out next weekend in the preliminary final. So it's either going to be a Brisbane, Geelong, Hawthorn or Collingwood premiership this year. Yet again.
Yep. Yeah.
Only Richmond out of that list has taken a tumble and is now in the middle of a rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And West Coast is the other one. And Sydney won't take long to get back up again. But most of the other sides, even some of those ones that have only won the one premiership, like Melbourne and the Bulldogs and Port Adelaide and Essendon, well, you can add those to the other 7 who have not won one premiership. And there's 11 out of your 18 teams that just don't look likely to win a premiership anytime soon.
You know what's also the thing too? Joe says that the draft doesn't work. It's not the draft doesn't work. I think it's the way.
Is it the draft?
No, I think it works. But look at the clubs that are down there that haven't. I mean, bearing in mind Gold Coast and GWS, and GWS have made grand finals. Look at the development of some of the players from the Saints. You've got Melbourne down there, but they're on North Melbourne, us, Freo. Some of those teams down there that haven't won nothing, or even Essendon, the development of some of the players that they've drafted, absolutely atrocious.
Well, I think you've got to have some talent to get drafted. Someone wrote up, is it the shit players that you're drafting? I don't think it's the shit players, right? David will tell you, to get drafted, you've got to have some pretty good football skills,
yeah, of course.
Right? But I think it's development, coaching, how they get on with their teammates. I mean, obviously Brisbane, Geelong, Brad Scott. Is it Brad Scott at Geelong or Chris Scott? I get them mixed up.
Chris Scott.
Anyway, Chris at Geelong, and obviously Damien Hardwick, and now Sam Mitchell. But they seem to be really good at getting the best out of players. I mean, it's a team game. It's not an individual game.
It look, and they can all play. They can all play. I mean, they're injuries play a part. You recruit blokes who, unfortunately, I mean, we recruited Jagger Smith this year and he does a bloody knee. I mean, luck. There's a lot of bad luck that can happen along the way. I mean, before Richmond won those 3 premierships, they're criticised because you look at those Hawthorn premierships, the early ones, when Buddy Franklin was there and they recruited Richard Tambling before Buddy Franklin. So that. So, they haven't all done it right, but they've been, and there is a little bit of luck that can, go your way, and stability around those football clubs. You look at those top clubs, how, they haven't had any real dramas, any major dramas, even West Coast. I mean, and they're down the bottom of the ladder, and you don't hear of any dramas out of. Probably the only one was their skipper this year, meeting up with Sam Mitchell. But that's probably the only real issue they've had. But you look at the clubs below that, and they've all had their issues and dramas and problems with players, individual players. So you go right through that whole bottom list, and they have. They haven't been. It hasn't been a unified club, and footy clubs, they can turn around pretty quickly. They really can. I mean, it's set all the time, but it really can turn quickly. And I remember when I went down, to a North Launceston reunion, a few months back, and one of the players mentioned to me that he said, the one thing about that year 1995 when won a premiership against Clarence down there, he said we had a bloke Dale Chug. He said, I knew if he grabbed the ball, I knew what he was going to do. I knew where to run. I knew what he was thinking, and that's one of the most important things when you can be all in sync and know what we're doing, because we're all trained up. We're ready. We're a team. We are going to all do it together. I mean, I used to encourage blokes to, take a risk, but if you stuff it up, you're going to get the kick up the arse, because this is the way we play week in, week out, and this is our intentions. And if you do, not go the way that we've been training and we've been told to, then and you take that risk and want to take it on, good luck to you. But make sure it works, because if it doesn't, we'll be coming down on you. So and that way, the lesser lights in the team, it makes it easier for them too, because they just have to follow instruction, and your better players will dominate anyway. But Wes Lewis, there's a bloke I'm talking about who was Dale Lewis's brother, and he was the best player in the competition down there, and we ended up getting to a grand final, and he got his jaw broken in the first 10 minutes, and I'm out there and I'm thinking, Jesus, what goes? We're losing our best player in the first 10 minutes, and we just played our game of football and won that game of football. So that. But Wes, he was one who said, I knew what these players were thinking even before they picked the ball up, because we'd trained that way. We'd trained to, on the back line, you turn towards the boundary line. Just simple things, but we knew what we were all doing, and made life a hell of a lot easier that year.
So can you see us getting better next year then? Like,
absolutely.
We had some players who were down.
Absolutely. We were bloody crap, and you know what happened? That first game of the year, that just destroyed us. It absolutely destroyed us. It just, that second half was absolutely woeful, and that set a whole pattern for the whole year, to be honest. And we never recovered. We just never recovered, and it was, it was farcical. A lot of those games were embarrassing. I mean, it was almost embarrassing to be a Carlton supporter in some, avenues this year. So I got no doubt we can be a lot better, a hell of a lot better. But we need our best players up and going, and we need them playing good footy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks. It's interesting that we haven't announced any new coaches, so I thought it all had to be done by the end of August. The coaching.
I think they're chasing Josh Fraser at the moment, who we had there about 10 years ago. So, or maybe a bit longer than that ago. He was the
VFL coach, wasn't he?
VFL coach for a long time, and now he's doing some good things down at Collingwood, and they're trying to get him at the moment. So he's one who's on the list who they're looking at getting back there.
Didn't we lose another one of our assistant coaches or development coaches during the week?
Brad Ebert. I think Brad Ebert.
Brad Ebert.
Ebert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
He was.
Yeah,
I
that
think he
one.
was head of
What's
development or
happening?
something.
well, I don't think he. Oh, I'd like to know his KPI, Vince, because I didn't see much development. Did you? No. Anyway,
No.
is there anything else we need to talk about? I mean, it's all pretty quiet on Carlton at the moment. Hey,
No.
Vince, there was a couple of games. We'll leave David on for a minute. He can tell us about his viewpoints. He's played more finals than the three of us put together. Friday
I know where
night,
you're
Vince.
going with this.
Friday night, Vince. Go for it.
Well, it was almost a repeat of the previous week for Adelaide, where they got out pressured and outplayed by a team that's got nowhere near as much finals experience as Collingwood, but they've got a little bit. And Hawthorn just showed up all their weaknesses again. I mean, if you go into finals with major weaknesses, you'll get shown up, no doubt about it. And Adelaide, whatever they did during the year that was winning all the games that they won, I think they won 18 out of 23. They didn't produce any of that in the last 2 weeks. And I still believe that without Isaac Rankin, they're just nowhere near the same side. But anyway, Hawthorn led at every change. In the end, won 14-17, 101 to Adelaide Crows 10-7-67. And out of the 8 quarters that the Adelaide Crows played in finals this year, guess how many quarters they won?
Duck egg.
Donuts.
Yeah.
So
as
a
David
very
said, they didn't
disappointing
come
way
to
to go
play.
out there. The first team in 42 years since North Melbourne in 1983, when they were coached by Barry Cable, to go out in straight sets when they finished at the top of the ladder.
Overrated.
Anyway.
Team.
And on Saturday night, Vince?
And on Saturday night, I was very disappointed in the Gold Coast here. I think they probably played their grand final the week before, let's be honest. Maybe the trip over there took some toll, I don't know. But Brisbane just showed them yet again what finals experience counts for. They just completely pressured them and outplayed them. And I don't think that the result was in any doubt. Even at quarter time, when the scores were pretty even, I had this feeling that Brisbane were going to pull away, and they did. Kicking 6-2 in the second quarter, and then just progressively, outplaying the Gold Coast. And in the end, they won 14-16, 100 to the Gold Coast Suns, a very disappointing 6-11-47.
Do you think maybe it had something to do with the pink jumpers that they were wearing?
Oh, what a ridiculous!
Weren't they shocking?
Seriously, what a ridiculous decision!
I like them.
To have,
yeah,
I don't mind.
I actually like it,
Seba, but to be playing against Brisbane, who have got a predominantly maroon jumper, come on, man.
Yeah.
They should have been wearing a white Guernsey with white shorts, and the logo on the front and the back like they used to.
I don't think they have a white Guernsey. It's just a red one.
They did have a white Guernsey. They even had a blue
it's
Guernsey, even if it was
a
an
blue
all
and
blue
yellow
Guernsey
one.
with the white
It's
shorts.
a blue and yellow.
That
They
would have
got
looked
blue and
better.
yellow.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so
was
next
anyway.
week we have preliminary final one on Friday night at 7:40.
Yep.
Geelong versus Hawthorn at the MCG, and then on Saturday, is that right at an unusually weird time?
That's
at
correct.
5:15?
That allows Brisbane to get back to Brisbane should they beat Collingwood, and still get back in time to be able to get back to their own beds that night. So that's the reason for the twilight game.
Oh, okay.
Well, if I was Brisbane, I'd want to. If I won, I'd want to be staying in Melbourne the whole week, training here. But anyway,
no, get on.
Collingwood, Brisbane.
No, they want to get home.
David, what are your thoughts on the two games?
Yeah, look, I think the teams that have won the games have been the teams that have come to play. And probably the most disappointing thing about Adelaide this week was they didn't learn a lesson at all from the first game, where they were absolutely hijacked and the pressure, they just couldn't withstand it. And they got some players there. I mean, that Darcy Fogarty, I liked him as a player, but Jesus, it does ego missing in when the heat's on, so they got some players who really need to go back and have a real good look at themselves and even their coach. I mean, it's an indictment on him in a lot of ways when they don't turn up 2 weeks in a row. They didn't turn up at all. And they couldn't handle the heat that was applied. They couldn't put it back on the opposition. Very, very poor. But I don't know. I suppose the teams in the best form are in there, and that's why they're going to be a couple of great preliminary finals this week. And I think the obvious way to go is Geelong and Collingwood. So they'll be my 2 picks.
Fuck, I hate Collingwood. Collingwood.
I hope Collingwood make the grand final and lose by a point. Nothing better.
Nah. I don't want them to make the grand final. If they do, I want them to get absolutely obliterated off the park. I don't want to be sitting there watching it with my heart in my mouth and wait. These pricks are going to get set because I can already see it. These pricks are going to win it this year, aren't they? You can just see it.
Didn't you like that when West Coast beat them in that second last kick or whatever it was in the day? That was fantastic. That's what I want to see. I don't want to.
That's what I mean. Some miraculous
I want
goal
all
from
those
the boundary
Collingwood
line.
supporters to live in hope for 98 minutes and then get bloody beat.
Yeah, and have that victory snatched from their jaws.
Yes, exactly.
It's nothing better. So now David knows why I was having a go. Vince and Seba, any comments to make on the 2 games? Don't give me a tip. Just what do you think? They're going to be good games, bad games?
Yeah, look at the quality of teams we've got there. The 4, just absolute triple A class outfits, in my opinion. So yeah, it's going to be a cracking 2 preliminary finals. I can already see it. If they're not, I'll be very surprised if they're not.
Yep. No, they should be. They should be. Both, all those teams. They know how to play finals footy. So
match winners everywhere, X Factor everywhere, flair everywhere. I'm really G'd up for this weekend. I'm G'd up for Collingwood to lose.
G'd up. Whoa. Vince, any thoughts, comments?
Well, my immediate thoughts were that, when this final series started, we only had 3 Victorian teams and there were 5 interstate teams. And of those 5 interstate teams, we've seen GWS, Fremantle, Gold Coast,
Adelaide,
and now Adelaide all get eliminated one after the other. The only interstate side that's left is one with a Victorian background, which is obviously Brisbane with Fitzroy. So I think it'll help with the crowd on Saturday night. I think if they were playing Gold Coast, it would have just been overwhelming for Gold Coast with a pro Collingwood crowd. But I think that will even it up a bit more, although I still expect Collingwood to win, even though Brisbane have been brave, in making the top 4 again. Just goes to show you how well managed they are as a football club. But Geelong thoroughly deserve to be there, and Hawthorn have earned their way into a top 4 position. And you've got to take your hat off to Sam Mitchell. He's gone to Sydney and beaten GWS on their home ground, then gone to Adelaide and beaten Adelaide on their home ground in hostile territory. So, Hawthorn well and truly deserve to be there, and you never know. They could give Geelong a run for their money on Friday. I like Reece, expect the 2 favourites to win, but I just hope they're really good competitive preliminary finals, and usually we do produce good ones. So
the preliminary finals
have been.
I was just going to say the preliminary finals over the last few years have been the standout games of the season. And that cutthroat, and normally the grand final is a bit of a letdown, and one team sort of gets.
It's always the way
away
in sport, isn't it? It's always the way. The semis, they're always the best games.
2023 was it? 2023 was a cliffhanger.
And the preliminary finals also have got the crowds, the real footy people there too. It's not a corporate event like the grand final is. So it's got the real footy people who get and shout and scream and enjoy it. So I think it's going to be a great weekend. Sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get your tips, and David knows why I was having go at him before. We've had 6 games, and David's got none of them right.
Yeah, and it's just as hard to pick 6 losers as it is to pick 6 winners.
I realise that, David. I'm not having a go at you.
Probably even harder. I reckon even harder.
Well,
All
I've
right, so
done it.
David, game one, who's your tip?
Who we got? Hawthorn, Geelong. I'll go.
Yeah, Hawthorn,
Geelong. I think. I think Hawthorn just in that. A bit like Gold Coast. They've had a couple of good wins, and Gold Coast had a win and then fell away. And I'm hoping they don't. But I'm just thinking a few of those younger blokes, it might just get the better of them. Being up 3 weeks running, sort of thing, and you've got to be playing your best footy. And but if they bring that heat that they showed on the weekend, then and Geelong, you've got to come up to play these games. You really have to be mentally ready for anything, and you just can't rely on your best players. You can't rely on anything. You just have to. Every single player has to get out there, and it's almost manic in the way you go about it, and just give 100%. And that's why the preliminary finals have been, the best games so far. But Geelong in the first game, Collingwood in the second game, and
there you go.
And that might help Seb
That
anyway, because if I end up with 8 losses next week, then Collingwood won't be playing.
Give us your margins, Reece. Give us your margins.
Are you, David?
I think they'll both be close. I think the first one might be.
Throw a dart at it. Geelong by how
all
many
right, I'll say 15 points Geelong the first one, and 8 points to Collingwood.
All right,
over a goal.
2 close ones.
Yep.
Look, I think Geelong are just primed at the moment. I think of all of the clubs that are in their healthiest state, like if you look at the state of their list, hardly got any injuries. All of their experienced players that are, probably older and needed rests and whatever, they've all been well rested and managed, and I think that they're primed. So I think, as Reece said, Hawthorn's, been on a fairly long run, and I think they'll put up a big fight, but I think Geelong will get up by 29 points. And Collingwood and Brisbane, again, I expect Brisbane to put up a bit of a fight. And Collingwood never really thrash teams. They only ever sort of get past them most of the time, just because they haven't got a forward line that necessarily kicks a lot of goals. So I think Brisbane will be in it for a fair way, but I still think Collingwood will end up pulling away. And I'll go for Collingwood by 21 points.
All right. Seba?
Geelong, I think, yeah. I think Geelong are going to take it out. It'll be a close one. I reckon Geelong by about 9 points. I think they'll get the job done. They're just what a football club they are, and what a football.
So the game will be in the balance with about 5 minutes to go. You reckon?
Yeah. Just about. What a football club they've been for 30+, nearly 30 years.
25 years.
Yeah, they're just an unbelievable football club, and I'm gonna go the outsiders here. I think Brisbane will get over the line here, brother.
Is this just wishful thinking, or?
Nah, well, I was saying to one of my best mates, he's a Collingwood supporter, and he's sick in the head. And even we were just talking to each other about it last night, and I said to him, there was nothing that you guys showed me in the first game against who was it? Adelaide. There's nothing that they really showed me that if it got down to the nitty-gritty against these bigger sort of teams, that would really persuade me to say that they'd beat them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just, but yeah, even he said he does sort of agree with me. So yeah, I'm going to go for Brisbane here. It's probably maybe some wishful thinking, but yeah, I think.
I hope you're right. I actually hope you're right, but I doubt it somehow.
So I'm going to go. I think Hawthorn are going to win by 3 goals because I've got some Geelong friends who just won't shut up if they make the final. And I have a motto in life. It's called ABC. Anyone but Collingwood. And I've lived my life there. So Brisbane Lions, don't get on my nasty list. Do us all a favour. Beat them after the siren. Have a controversial free kick. I don't care. But I'm going to go Brisbane by 1 point and Hawthorn by about 3 goals. All right. So
Right,
that
right.
brings us to the end. Hopefully, David, you can get one right this week.
Yes. One.
We'll hope. Hey, thanks again for your time, David. Really appreciate it on a Sunday night. So we'll see you next week.
Reece.
I'm going to go. All right. Thanks guys.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
Oh, God.
So you know what time it is now, Paz, don't you?
8:30.
No.
It's my bedtime. I'm usually in bed by this time.
I was just going to say, Seb, you look like you could go back to bed, so you only got up at 11:30 this morning.
Oh, I've had a huge weekend.
Now, Joe's just gotten up. What's
Go
going
and get
on?
your snacks ready. Sit back and listen to there it is, the Vincano. So
what have we got in
Vince,
store this week?
The floor is your... Hang on. Just let me open up my snacks.
Oh, God.
Right. Go, Vince.
I don't think you need to bother with all that because we actually touched on my Vincano earlier. The decision
Nothing
to
political.
play. I'm not going to get political as much as I'd like to after the events of this week. But anyway, I'll resist that. This is not the platform for it. The decision to play Brisbane and Gold Coast with those Guernseys just baffles me because if you look at your TV screen, even at a reasonable distance, you can't make out anything. You can't make out which players are which and from which team. It's just a stupid, ill-informed, ridiculous decision. And there's got to be some real contrast between the Guernseys. It's just ridiculous how they make. I don't know who makes these decisions, but they've got to get this right. And it's just embarrassing sometimes some of the clashes that go on between jumpers. And I don't know, it's just baffling to me. Even with Hawthorn and Adelaide the other night, I thought Adelaide's got this Guernsey, which is almost basically a straight-on navy blue with a bit of yellow outline on it. On the front and all that sort of thing.
Yellow and red.
But they continued playing them with the yellow and red stripes as well. And I just thought that even half clashed with the Hawthorn Guernsey. But that wasn't as bad. But certainly the Gold Coast one up against Brisbane, just ridiculous. So, I'm assuming this week that, Geelong will probably wear their... In fact, that's one club that doesn't get their knickers in a knot when they're asked to wear white shorts, even though it might be their home game. In fact, most games that Geelong play, funnily enough, they're in white shorts.
Hey, Vince,
I think that's what will happen again this Friday night. You'll see Geelong in their traditional Guernsey with white shorts, and then Hawthorn will be in their Guernsey with dark brown shorts.
I got a question.
And on Saturday, you'll see Collingwood with their predominantly black with white stripes and white numbers on the back. And you'll see Brisbane probably out there with the Fitzroy Guernsey from years ago, like they wore last year when they played Geelong in a preliminary final.
Yeah.
Do you think Collingwood might wear their black with white stripes jumper as opposed to their white with black stripes jumper?
That's what I said. Predominantly black with white stripes. You're saying? No, it's not. They've actually got a Guernsey that's predominantly white with black stripes and black number on the back. This will actually be with a white number on the back. And they're predominantly black Guernsey. There is a difference. Anyway, what were you asking me, Seb?
I'll try again. I was going to ask you, do you think that, like how they do in the NBA, do you think every club should have a predominantly white Guernsey?
Well, they should have a couple of away strips, depending on the teams that they play. Like in the English Premier League. They've got at least 2, if not 3 away strips sometimes.
Every club has 3.
The home team is entitled to wear their home strip.
Yeah.
That's my view. Now, in finals, what I think should happen is that there should be common sense applied. And even if a team is so-called the home team, if it makes more sense for them to wear an away Guernsey or, with the white shorts in the case of Geelong, etc., well, then that's what should happen. So that there's a clear distinction to the eye. I mean, a lot of people watch these games, and as you know, I mean, a lot of the time the ball's spending time on the ground and there's tackling going on. It's looking more like rugby than bloody AFL football these days, with the amount of tackling and pressure and everything else that's being applied. And, you know, sometimes there's this mishmash of players. You can't make out anything.
More strips.
But
in the comment, more strips means parents have to buy more things. No, it doesn't.
nah.
No, it doesn't. That's
I mean,
not a
Carlton has got obviously the navy blue Guernsey, right?
bullshit.
But
Look at the
we are headstrong when it comes to wearing the predominantly white coloured Guernsey when it comes to some of the traditional clubs.
Yeah.
We seem to be like we have never worn that Guernsey, the all white Guernsey with the navy blue emblem and the navy blue number, against a side like Richmond.
Yeah, no.
Or against a side like Essendon.
No.
Right? I mean, it would make so much sense. But, no, we can't do that. You know, we've got to wear our navy blue Guernsey and we'll just wear white shorts instead. Well,
you know how white one?
I don't agree with that.
You know how
We've got
white
to
one?
stop being so headstrong about it.
I don't know. I don't know if it was this year or I think it was this year's one. I don't know. I can't even remember us wearing it. It almost looks like a piece of paper that's been in the printer and it's run out of ink. With
What's
the
that?
blue, our white Guernsey where it's got just the blue on the top and it stops. You know what I mean?
Right,
I reckon that looks atrocious. If you're going to do white or white,
have it all white.
with the navy blue emblem and the navy blue number.
I agree. And
Look,
we've
it's
had that
quite
before.
funny.
That's the crazy thing. We've actually had it. I can show you examples from years ago. My mind goes back to a game that we played in Adelaide against Port Adelaide at what used to be called Amy Stadium back then, where we beat Port Adelaide, you know, in a rainy, windy old game on a Sunday afternoon, where we came back from 5 goals down and ended up kicking 7 goals to nothing in the last quarter, and we beat them. But we had an all-white Guernsey. I remember it well.
White.
These were in the days of, you know, Brendan Favola and Heath Scotland and Cade Simpson and these guys, right?
I like that grey one that we had.
It was a beautiful Guernsey.
Yeah.
The grey one. I like it. I love the wolf grey.
It's funny. Look in the chat. If you look in the chat, some people love the white jersey. Some people hate the white jersey. I mean, we're never going to agree. But
we have to accept that in today's day and age, with it being a television game, right, that we have to, at times, wear the away strip. I mean, at least we're still wearing our colours. In some of the other competitions around the world, you take soccer competitions, they are often wearing colours that are nothing like their original colours.
Yeah. You get green fluoros, these fluoros, that.
You get all sorts of crazy colours that they wear as away strips. Nothing like what their normal Guernsey is.
And I agree with you 100%, Vincent. All I give a shit about is that whatever they pull on, whatever jumper they pull on, is that monogram on the front has not been fucked with.
That's right. And it's still navy blue.
White, I don't care. Navy blue or white. As soon as it changes away from that, other than the Aboriginal jerseys, I don't mind. That's okay. And as soon as it goes away from blue or white, that's it. Pack it up.
Yep.
Finished.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. So
anyway,
people
that's my Vincano for the week.
Okay. People are up in the air about it. Some like it, some don't.
Yeah, look, it's a subjective thing, I understand, and everyone's going to have an opinion, and that's fine. But, you know, from a television spectacle point of view, can we please apply some common sense AFL? You know, they have had such a shocking year. You know, before we finish up this year, I'm going to go through for you and for our viewers a list of every single thing that they have stuffed up this year. And you would be amazed. I'm going to need half an hour just to read them out.
A huge list. It's like, Jesus.
It's just,
I can't wait.
It's embarrassing that we call this a professional, you know, competition. That's a multi-billion-dollar competition. It's just a joke in some cases what they do. But anyway,
the EDFLs run better.
Anyway, moving right along. It is now time for Big Dincenza's bet of the week. And I've got to say, he's a loser.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
Vince,
Joe.
How
did you do that? I've never had a photo taken with that. That's obviously been manipulated with
AI.
by AI or something.
It'll be
You can
AI.
sue him for defamation. You can sue him now.
No, but
You could
I
probably,
just want to point out how svelte Vince's physique is there. It's obviously, I found the photo on Facebook, Vince. It's obviously a very old photo.
talking, yeah.
Why is it an old photo?
Well,
What are you saying, Joe? Are you saying that I'm a lot fatter than that, are you?
I'm not fat shaming anyone. I'm not saying anything.
Defamation.
Anyway, Vince,
Cancel him. Cancel.
Vince, the reason I've put that up there,
Mm.
another loss. You got us
Well,
off to a good
I
start.
fell for the Gold Coast thing. I got off to a good start.
You just
with
couldn't bring the
Hawthorn.
bacon home.
Should have backed Brisbane at home, shouldn't I? I should have known
should have.
that experience would count in the end. And Gold Coast had already played their grand final the week before. So that's an error of judgment on my behalf. If anyone put the $30 investment on and lost their money, I'm terribly sorry. But as you know, this is all imaginary, and we keep saying it every week. We don't actually place these bets, nor do we encourage you to necessarily. This is all just a little bit of fun. It's
but if you do bet big or go home.
Well,
Don't
we've still got
small bets.
We've still got $200 in the bank account, which is double of what we started with. So let's see how we go this week.
Whatever you have at the end, I reckon.
This week. Sorry,
well, I've
Seb?
backed the two. I've backed the two favourites. I've backed the two favourites in the 2-leg multi. It's only going to pay $2.67, but we're going to put $50 on it to win back $133.50. So the balance, as I said before, the bet's placed is $200. If this bet loses, we're down to $150, and we'll only have $50 left for grand final week, because we always want to make sure that we finish off at least with what we started, don't we, Joe? Yeah. But if it happens to win, we're back up to $283.50 if this bet comes off. So let's hope that Collingwood and Geelong can do the business for us. Although, I'll be honest with you, I'd be rapt if Brisbane beat Collingwood, and it wouldn't bother me too much if Hawthorn beat Geelong either. But
you're gambling with fake money there. You're gambling, with monopoly money, as I think.
Yeah, well,
said.
it's all as I said, it's all just a bit of fun, and it's all imaginary.
I've had a good week, another punt, so I can't complain.
Oh, you've had a good week, have you?
Yeah, I was at one of my mates' brother's 21st last night, and I put on an Arsenal multi, and I got home at like 5 a.m. and I looked
Arsenal,
at my phone.
3-0.
Yeah, I looked at my phone and I'm like, oh, it's all right. Then I got like 330, and now I got one riding at the moment, and hopefully Man City get up, and then I'll clean up again. So yeah, but next year I'll be putting on every single bet you put on.
No, Man City won't get up. Anyway,
Arsenal happened to beat Ange Postecoglou's brand new team that he's just been appointed at, Nottingham Forest.
They're going to send him back to Greece to start serving souvlaki's again, like Tottenham did to him.
They're probably.
Oh well, good on you, Ange. I'm glad that he's got another job in the English Premier League.
It's good to be gainfully employed.
And he's at Carlton, then don't forget Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah. So it's a shorter show this week because we don't have a lot to talk about with Carlton. But as per usual, we can't end the show without Vince's Cheerios. Right? I'll have to get someone to make us a sign like the Vincano. So Vince, how are your Cheerios? Come on, who have you got this week?
Oh, geez, I haven't got any Cheerios this week, Joe. I've had a very low key week.
You must have one.
I've been in a state of mourning. I'll be honest with you, after the absolutely shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk. I've never been more distraught in a 48-hour period for as long as I can remember. I mean, it just affected me in a big way. And all I can say is to any of you out there that basically danced on his grave before he even went into a grave,
shame on
and celebrated what happened to him because you don't agree with his views, you people seriously need help. You are mentally deranged if you celebrate someone getting assassinated in cold blood in front of his wife and 2 little children like that. And I just cannot believe some of the commentators and media people and people like that Hannah Ferguson who owns Cheek Media, disgusting individual. Abby Chatfield, there's another disgusting, deranged evil, demonic woman. She is
Okay,
as close to she's as close to a
Vince,
witch
this
as
is
what
not
you'll
the
ever find.
forum.
No, this is just my opinion. This is just my
Well,
opinion.
that's fine, but it's not the
Okay,
forum.
I'm not talking about anything else other than the fact that some of these people have come out and basically celebrated his death. And that is just shocking. If you are finding yourself in that situation, please go and seek some psychological help because you need it desperately.
Okay.
And anyway, Charlie Kirk, you were a wonderful, fantastic human being. The legacy will live on. The voice will never be silenced. And I'm absolutely, grief-stricken with what happened to him.
Abdullah, it's not about learning a few things about politics, my friend. This is a football show. It is not a political forum.
Anyway,
So,
I'm sorry, Joe. You're right.
I get offended with people saying learn about politics. You have absolutely no idea about my politics.
Joe. He just sits
No. I said earlier, I apologise, Joe. I owe you an apology because I said earlier I wasn't going to bring up politics, but you asked me about Cheerios, and the only thing that came to mind is I've got no one to say hello to. I've just got someone to grieve.
I've got Cheerios. I've got some.
Come on, Sid.
All right. Jesus Christ, fucking shit. All right.
Who's your Cheerio to?
I was waiting to get you to say something again. Oh. Cheerio to all of you guys in the chat once again for joining us on our lovely Sunday here in not so lovely Melbourne. But thank you guys again for tuning in. We appreciate it a lot. And hit the like button on the way out if you can. We'd appreciate that too. So,
all right.
Cheerio to all you guys, all of you.
I'm going to end the show on just one point. Any of you who are friends of mine on Facebook, you would have seen a post I put up this morning. My partner of 7 years, 2 years ago today, tragically, she was taken from us with cancer. So her son and I were very devastated at the time. The poor kid, he still hasn't recovered. He lost his father to COVID and he lost his mother to cancer, but we're still going strong. So I don't know what else to say, but she's missed a lot. So guys,
our thoughts and prayers are with you, Joe. I'm sure I speak for everyone in the chat as well.
100%. God bless us all.
So that brings us to the end of the show. Don't forget, on Facebook, we are at Blue Sunday and the Jumper Punch on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Grows the channel, makes a better product for you. So, don't forget to do that. Just following up from Seba, I'd like to thank everyone in the chat. Sorry, I got a bit angry at the end there, but please, people shouldn't cast aspersions about other people if they don't know them. If you want to talk to me privately, you can email me. I'm happy to talk to you. But on the show, this is about football. Let's keep it at football.
Yep.
So until next week, let's hope that Collingwood get flogged, right? Geelong and Hawthorn. Let's hope it's a 0-0 draw. Let's hope Seba keeps getting these Arsenal multis. Or his Man U once.
No, not Man U. I just need Man U to lose tonight.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
well, let's hope your multi gets up.
That's it.
And until next week, it's a big goodbye from me. Big Beans.
Good night from me.
And Seba.
Good night from me. Jesus Christ.